Have a conversation with one of our African sons who is right here in the studio. He is into energy, and by collaborating with indigenous companies, international stakeholders, and regulatory authorities, he is here to foster a results-driven business environment that benefits the continent's energy landscape. And my guest this morning from the African Energy Chamber is NJ Ayuk, who is the Executive Chairman, African Energy Chamber. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Feel good to be in Accra again.
I think I should have said Sawubona, right? Yeah, that's what I should have said, right? Yeah, that's what but here we will say Akwaba.
It's Ayuk.
So when I say Akwaba, then you say Yo Medase.
Yo Medase.
That's what you say. You know. Oh, but you mentioned that you've been to Accra before.
I love Accra.
Oh, wow.
It's, first of all, it's a brilliant city, and there's a lot of energy in this city. So I think every time you come to Ghana, you see something new.
Right.
And first of all, the people.
Right.
And the streets and the food. I love the food.
You love the food.
From the banku to the wache.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm feeling at home.
You're a true African son. Yeah, you understand the system already. Anyway, so this morning you're here representing the African Energy Chamber. For the millions of people who are watching this morning who may not know you or may have never heard of this chamber, who are you and what do you do?
I think the African Energy Chamber has basically become the voice of the African energy sector, in a sense where we try to get working people, businesses, to really be able to drive, invest in Africa, and really promote our oil and gas sector and really pave it there. But the big thing that we at the Chamber believe in is making energy poverty history. I think in Ghana, gone are the days when you had Dumso, but a lot of Africa has that a lot because 600 million Africans have no access to electricity. 900 million have no access to clean cooking, most of them women. That is a human rights issue. And so when you look at Ghana, you say Ghana has a big role to play in shaping that, in defeating energy poverty. So it's not the time for us to stop using gas, or it's not the time for us to stop using oil. We need to push towards a just transition, and we need to drill and really get energy right back in Africa. And I think that has been the mainstay of the African Energy Chamber.
Energy Chamber. Just this morning, actually 2 days ago, was when the communique came in. I'm just giving you some information because, of course, it's still related to energy. And this morning, we've been talking about it. Electricity tariffs in Ghana have been increased by 14.07%, and everyone is crying this morning. You've mentioned Dumso. You've experienced Dumso as well. And Dumso, like you said, happens across Africa. I'm in South Africa sometimes, and we get like 1 hour off a day. It happens in South Africa. With all this, considering all that is going on, what do you think Ghana and Africa can do to attract more investment into our energy sector? What can we do right?
We need to look at creating that enabling environment dealing with our above-ground risk issues. We are in a time when we're competing for capital. You're not competing for capital between Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. You're competing with Suriname. You're competing with Qatar. You're competing with Singapore. So you need to do those things that make capital welcome. Capital goes where it's welcome. It's not about I'll just love Ghana. But we need to make sure that we incentivize this. We provide the right kind of incentives, whether it's through taxes, fiscal policies. That would then it would attract capital. But then you also have to incentivize Ghanaian companies because at the end of the day, they are going to be the true drivers of growth here. So dealing with small-scale LNG projects, driving up new drilling projects here that you provide gas. Because when you have that gas, then you could then produce gas domestically, and then you do gas to power, and you could even bring your renewables into the play. So there's a lot of pieces that we need to do, but we need to really take an honest step back and see where we've been failing and then drive that, because if you get energy into Ghanaians, then you get industrialization. then you get real development moving up. You can't do that without energy. And sometimes we all need to put a pressure on the public officials to give us that enabling environment, step away a little bit, let the private sector drive it and deal with the infrastructure deficit, because you could have gas, you could have renewables. If you don't have the infrastructure, it's just not going to work. And then you see the tariffs going down, and then you see more taxes coming in, and then you see more development coming in, because you are not fighting to pay high electricity tariffs, especially as a small business. It just gets too hard to pay high electricity tariffs.
It's very difficult
and
now.
then still want to make your business profitable. It puts you out of business.
14.75%.
That's a lot, but
that's high.
I think you have a lot of money. You can afford it for now.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. Now, the rest of the world is talking about energy transition. Would you say that we should toe the same line, or we should still concentrate on investing in oil and gas here in Ghana and Africa?
Ghana's future with oil and gas, not just Ghana, but Africa, is going to be drill, baby, drill. You have to invest in oil and gas. Where are you transitioning from? From the dark to the dark? Nobody, yes, you say you might get clean air, but nobody wants to breathe clean air in the dark in Ghana. You need the nations that are telling you to transition from oil and gas into renewables, which is not a bad thing.
They are first-class countries.
They have first-class countries. They've used oil and natural gas to drive human flourishing, build industries, develop themselves when you had nothing. Right now, at a time when it's time for you to do the same, get your people out of poverty, get them out of energy poverty, create more jobs so that our young people don't have to cross the Mediterranean or the Sahara to go to Europe to find jobs. They tell you time is up. But then how are you going to pay for it? Most of the money that was promised to Ghana and many African countries through COP, which I've been to every one of them over the last 6 years, they've not delivered. So you on your own. So it's a great idea to transition, but the problem is that somehow you have to pay for it. And as Ghanaians, no one is going to do that for you. You would have to transition on your own timeline, on your own self. I mean, Superman is not coming. Wakanda Forever is a good movie, but the Black Panther is not coming. You would have to find your own solutions for that. So we have to drill. We have to be drill sustainably and in an environmentally friendly way. We have to use gas. When the crisis in Ukraine started, you saw Europe rushing for gas everywhere. So why is gas good for Europe, but it's not good for Ghanaians who need it the most to drive industry? It's not just electricity. Fertilizers, urea, ammonia, NPK, that's what drives agriculture. So we don't have to beg for food and beg for aid. So we have to look at the gas, for example, as a Swiss knife, and look at the byproducts and see how you drive Ghanaian economies. So we need to we don't need a transition. We need a just transition.
NJ, I love what you're doing at the chamber. That's the reason you are in Ghana, because something special is happening in Cape Town. So the Energy Week takes place in Cape Town. Is it every year?
The African Energy Week takes place in Cape Town. It's the largest oil and gas and energy gathering in Africa. We get stakeholders from GNPC to the ministry to GOL, Tolo, Ghanaian companies, and Ghanaians every day. We're there, but we do it special. We put before we start, we do a big concert, because we always say, even if you're the little guy, you want to bamba or chill with a big voice, you're right up there. We put a big concert. But beyond that, we get deals done. We get a lot of new projects and everything. That's why, for example, it was very important for me to be right here in Accra. We have a big event today at the Kempinski. It's going to be about 500 people registered. Today,
at the Kempinski.
500 people. I don't know if we have space anymore.
There is space. Kempinski is big. There is space. There is.
We'll see.
Yeah,
but the most important thing is that we want to get Ghana's story out there to the world. We have an amazing team that's going to do that, because you know what? Ghana is back. 17 new projects have to be launched between now and 2027. And the world has to see what this great nation has to offer. Invest in Ghana. There is big dividends, big returns, and that message has to go out there loud and clear. And I think every African has to do that, because the Black Star has a special role to play in our continent.
What time is that event today at Kempinski?
Oh, you're asking for too much. It's going to be at 15 o'clock today, right up to 19.
So 3 p.m.
3 p.m. today. It's going to be we excited about this, and and more to them, I'm really excited about what this country is, the potential. But then we need to turn potential into real opportunities that benefit people. And I think being able to manage that and really just get Ghana right in there into first world energy, then we're doing something for this great country.
Okay, so for the companies and individuals who are watching right now who would want to jump on this wagon, how do they get in touch with you?
You go to www.energychamber.org. You get all the information there. But most importantly, we have representatives here in Ghana, and everybody knows the African Energy Chamber. We have been very strong on Africa's right to drill for oil and gas and Africa's right to get a just transition, but also backed the oil and gas industry to continue investing. We should not be ashamed or apologize for wanting to use Ghanaian resources to benefit Ghanaians and improve the conditions of the industry here. That's something that you shouldn't have to apologize to anybody. It just makes common sense.
The South Africans will say sharp, sharp. Thank you very much for coming this morning. NJ Ayuk, Executive Chairman, African Energy Chamber. And today at exactly 1500 hours at the Kempinski, or 3 p.m. at Kempinski, you get to be part of this big one by the African Energy Chamber. Thank you so much for coming.
It's an honor.
See you at Kempinski and maybe in Cape Town, you know, for the big one. When is it?
You coming. Africa is going to be 29th of September to the 3rd of October.
All right.
And what I find really amazing is that when Ghana comes, everybody knows they are there.
That's what's up.
They sign deals and they do good things.
For. Okay. See you in September in Cape Town. Thank you so much for coming.
This year in Cape Town from September 29th right on to the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are going to really deal with signing new energy contracts that will come into developing our upstream energy sector. It's time to unleash our true potential.